All right, y'all. This is our take. This is Mark, the moderator.
Thanks.com, East Flatbush Finest.
Leaf is only family. Brooklyn forever.
Yo, Avery the Process. Shout to Scottie Pippen, yo.
Yo, you see my name?
Yo,
Big Wayne from Brooklyn, y'all. Let's go.
Yo, all right, y'all. So as you know, the Jordan documentary has dropped. A lot of people's talking about it. But inside of that, my man Wayne, I was talking to him, and we was debating back and forth about a topic that I think we've talked about a bunch of different times. But I think that now that we added him on this one here, we're going to bring it back up. So the question he asks is, what does the title GOAT mean? Is that a singular? Is it plural? Do we hold it to one person? What's your take on the title GOAT?
Okay, it's plural, and yeah, I know I've been saying that, for like the past year or so. It's just too hard to pick one player and say, this person is the greatest player of all time, especially when, most players didn't get to play with the other ones. The rules changed, the game changed and stuff like that. So only Mark could really sit here and be like, well, listen, look, I went to school with this person, sandbox with that person. You know what I mean? This person will watch
what was
Mike
that
and
person?
LeBron.
Handbox, you said?
You know what I mean? Handball, slapbox, all that stuff.
Sandbox.
You mixed up both of those together.
But seriously, I think it's plural, man. It's just too hard. It's just too hard to say one person is the greatest, and then like a guy like Mark, for instance, where Mark would say, "Listen, Kareem is the greatest," and I would say it's Mike. I can't argue you saying Kareem is the greatest. You feel what I'm saying? So there's really no way to really tell. So to me, it's plural, man.
Okay,
But,
Avery.
Go ahead.
I wish y'all stopped this, man. I just feel like this is this is Mark's attempt to segue into something foolish. That's all this is. So I know exactly what's happening here. You try to line us up with all of this. But nah, listen, man, there could be multiple GOATs, like Leaf said. There's not I think there's not one GOAT, but in my particular opinion, I think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, period. Like that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like Leaf said, I haven't seen everybody else play. I'd like to be the one to say that somebody's the GOAT for me, that I've actually had experience with seeing play, in person. That's me. I can't go back and look at videotapes and say, yeah, that guy was the greatest, when I haven't seen most of his great moments. You know what I mean? So for me, the greatest is Mike, but yes, there can be multiple greats in this conversation.
All right, Banks, go ahead.
I think the GOAT is personal, right? It's to me, it's the greatest player that you've ever seen with your own two eyes, right? So it changes from generation to generation. Like Mark, I know you feel like Kareem is the GOAT. A lot of us feel like Mike is the GOAT, but to echo Avery's point, I agree. I think Mike is the GOAT just based off of the fact that he may not have the most championships. Of course, that's Russell. He may not have the most points, but he's the one that everybody kind of looks up to, coming after him. Now, the guys before him obviously didn't look up to him, but all these guys after him, they're all chasing him. So, like, the next great was Kobe, and he was chasing Mike trying to get to 6. LeBron, he said, I'm chasing the ghost to number 23. So I think the GOAT is personal to everybody. It's more about the best play that you've ever seen with your own two eyes.
All right, Wayne, go ahead.
Me personally, that word GOAT is a strong word because I can't speak for guys that played before I was born. I don't know the history, but disagreeing with you guys is saying Mike is a GOAT. Okay, I look at it like I'm not a LeBron fan, but what I'm saying to you guys is that what are we using to define the word GOAT? Are we going by numbers? Are we going by championships? Are we going by the way the guy played is defining this word GOAT. Defining the word GOAT, to say that this person should get this honor. What are we?
Greatest of all time. That's what it is.
But okay, but if you're gonna say somebody's the greatest of all time, then that's a singular. You can't put they are the greatest of all time. You're saying that you have a GOAT that's a one singular person, and you're saying that is the greatest of all time. And what
but it's
the greatest of all time?
It's subjective, though, right?
It's opinions, of course. I mean, but that's why we have a show. That's why we talk about it. So what's the definition? Like, what comes along, like he brought up? Is it rings? Is it stats? What is it that encompasses for someone to even be mentioned in that title? What makes that up?
I think you would have to, first, you got to play for Philly. You got to wear the got to have core braids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's call it what it. Listen, I think there's multiple GOATs. I think that idea of there being the GOAT is problematic just because of the fact of what we're stating here. There are too many generations that have passed by. There are too many greats to say, yo, this one guy is the greatest of all time. We always had this conversation. Yo, if you were to put this guy, on the court right now, how would he play? Like, I don't think that's necessarily fair. But to say that, like, Wilt wasn't a GOAT, like, I would be lying because I haven't seen him play. But by all accounts of those stats and Mark showing me his autograph in your yearbook with him, I can certainly say that he's one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
It's like what me and Mark spoke about the other day, where people use, chips as that defining factor to say, well, this person is better, is what we've been told. So, this GOAT thing has been totally beating our brains and brainwashing our brains for so long that we feel it just has to be one. Nah, it doesn't have to be one, because the game changes. Like, if Avery wants to say, like, yo, AI is the GOAT, AI impact on basketball in a whole stands up there with anyone. You feel what I'm saying? So Mike impact stands up there with anyone. Kareem impact stands up there with anyone. Same with Magic and Bird. Like, all these guys had a real impact on the game on and off the court. Same as LeBron today.
But what I'm going to bring up is this, and what it comes across at times as a real cop-out, that because there is availability to say that Mike is not the GOAT, that people then don't want to identify and say it's somebody else over Mike. So now that's me. It seems like
we
it
know
has
that
to be Mike or nothing.
No, it doesn't have to be Mike or nothing. Mark,
but
that's who we've seen, Mark. Like, that's
I got you.
That's who we grew up on.
I don't think it's just that though, too. Go ahead, Wayne.
I got one for y'all. If we going by rings, Robert Horry should be discussed.
No, come on now. Now, like, seriously, like, no. Nah, come on, son. Like, yo, who invited this dude? Like, that's serious. Like, you gotta go. Like, come on, son.
Mute his mic.
My man.
Mute his mic right now.
My man, what? Robert Horry averaged 8 points a game. He averaged 8 points a game. Don't say anything else. You cannot talk.
Listen to me.
Can we make this like
keep your eyes
around the horn? Can somebody mute this dude? Can we mute him? He can't speak no more.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Hear me out. Once again, what I said to you guys is defining that word GOAT, okay? A couple of you guys just said rings, okay? So
no one said rings. No one said rings.
No.
I said
Mark said rings.
No, I didn't say rings.
Leaf
said that they're chasing. Kobe was chasing Mike 6 rings. That's what Leaf said.
No, that's what Banks said. And then I said we've been brainwashed to to throw the rings in the conversation, to say because this person have rings that makes him better. That's what I said.
I think Mike started that conversation where it had to be that you had to have rings to be considered great.
Well, hold on.
I don't think great players were defined by their rings previous to Mike.
But let me speak about what Leaf said, and I've brought this up in the past. It always seemed like when those that run to the rings, the ring argument and count rings, when you bring up a Robert Horry, all of a sudden Robert Horry doesn't count. because his rings doesn't count.
Because he didn't do
he's
any
not,
of the other
he's not
things.
validated. But
So,
wait.
listen.
Okay, then
if you go to the
Steve
ring
Kerr's a
argument,
GOAT too. Let's bring Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr to the GOAT conversation because he got 5.
I just said, if you bring rings into the argument,
if we're
bring
going
rings to the argument, you bring rings to the table, you got to count all the rings of everybody else. You can't discount rings because you want to.
No, stop it.
Why I say it's Mike? Because Mike incorporated it all. He had the scoring. He was one of the top 3 scorers when he left the game, right? Fields, Defensive Player of the Year. He won MVPs. All NBA first team. So he covered just about every point that you could consider somebody a GOAT for. He hit every single one of those.
Magic won Defensive Player of the Year? Never.
Listen, again, see, here we go. If you start nitpicking, then that's what we're going to do. That's why I said it's Mike or nothing, because any other argument is going to be broken down to it has to be Mike.
No, Mark, I had to nitpick because you just nitpicked.
I just brought up that Magic did the same thing. He had all NBAs. He was first team. He got rings. You can bring up the same thing for other players.
Got it.
So, like I said, you're gonna discount it because it's not Mike.
No. But listen. If you told me Magic, I'm not gonna argue with you. As long as you don't say Scotty, we fine.
By the way, but can we agree on one thing? Let me just say this, Wayne. The only reason why you can't bring up Robert Horry, because we know, yes.
Because he averaged 7 points a game. That's why you can't bring up Robert Horry. Stop it.
He hit big shots to win.
7 points a game. There's nothing else to say after that.
It doesn't.
Nothing. Stacey Augman is the GOAT.
We're going by rings. He's in the conversation.
If you're using rings.
Nah, he ain't in no conversation.
If we're going by rings.
When they sit at the table, when they sit at the table,
y'all are responsible for this. Whoever invited this dude, the amount of followers that we lose because this dude said Robert Horry in the GOAT conversation, it's on you. It's on you, Mark.
That's not what I said.
Yo, stay right there. We're going to come right back. We're going to bring this conversation right back. Hold on, y'all. We're going to bring this conversation right back.
I ain't saying he's the GOAT. Keep your eye on the road.
Nah, you gotta go, bro. I'm putting my foot down. We ain't gotta go.
Keep your eye on the road, bro.
This is our take. We'll be right back, y'all. We're coming right back.
Yo, I don't know.